everyone! It's been a while, but I'm very happy to talk to you about 3 simple ways a writer can say goodbye to writer's block forever. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So, in these past weeks, I've been working a lot towards my writing and my schoolwork. And what I've been doing is mostly writing my piece. It's a 6,000 word piece that I have to get done by next month. And I went to a writing workshop with a graduate student, and let's just say it was marvelous. The graduate taught us and held us down to do some very quick exercises that were really incredible because they have the whole purpose of getting you down to some writing, getting you inspired, and kicking the ass of writer's block. So what writer's block? Writer's block is that feeling where we start writing something and after a while we see the white page, or perhaps we are about to start writing something, we see the white page and we are unable to get past it. We see that white page and we think, oh my god, I have nothing to write, and stop writing. And that is something that does happen, but really the problem with writing and what writer's block represents is not the fear of writing in itself, it's the fear of not completing a bigger project. Because if we are thinking to ourselves, I'm gonna start writing and write this amazing 700 pages book, yeah, that feels scary. 700 pages is a lot. But what if instead of setting ourselves to do massive goals, all we had to do was much smaller? What I'm suggesting here is taking it down a notch, taking the expectations down, and instead of setting ourselves down to write for 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, we should just, if we are facing that writer's block, lower our expectations. And first and foremost, the purpose of these exercises and the purpose of what you will be writing would be to not have any expectation about how good what you're writing is going to be. So another problem of writers is thinking that the first draft is going to be wonderful, but it almost, never is. It's never perfect, it's never beautiful, because when something is good in itself, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily good in the whole. So if, for example, you write a wonderfully good paragraph, it doesn't mean that that is going to be where the paragraph is going to land in the end product. Because writing something that is longer than 500 words really does take a lot of effort, because writing is not speaking, writing is not living, writing is so much different and it needs so much thought, because we don't want to read what we live, we don't want to read the stumble, we don't want to read the emptiness, we want to read engaging stories that don't come up in just a first draft. So first and foremost, lowering our expectations about what is going to come out, and secondly, lowering the expectations of how long we're going to be able to do that for. If someone is not an experienced writer, I'm guessing that you've clicked on this video, so you're a writer, but it really depends on the level you are at. I'm not a super experienced writer. I've taken up writing before writing my dissertation. I tried to write in my summer and I've tried to write some pieces, but they were always short, 1,000, 1,500 words at max. I never wrote something longer, and now that I'm writing my dissertation, I'm really figuring out how long it takes. I've been writing it since Christmas, and now it's the end of March, it's the 27th of March, so it's taken a long time. I've gone through draft after draft after draft, because at the beginning I had an idea, but the problem is that For example, in short stories, which is my case, the idea must be the right size of an idea. So I had to shrink down my story. I had to write draft after draft to see where the story was going, what was working, what was not working. So yeah, it takes a lot of time. This all to say that we shouldn't expect our first draft to be perfect, and we shouldn't expect to be able from the beginning to be able to write 2 hours a day every single day. Life gets in the way. Life threatens us. Life throws us off the rails and wants us to pick ourselves up. So life is gonna come in the way at some point. So we shouldn't be expecting ourselves to be perfect at all times. What I'm currently doing for setting myself up is writing 1.5 hours a day. That's my limit. That's the amount of time I'm gonna write for every day. And this came up in a lot of effort, because before, it really does take a while to get into writing for longer periods of time. So at the beginning, it's very important to write for shorter periods of time, starting with our first exercise. First exercise will be free writing. Set yourself down a timer for 2 minutes and get down to writing. The rules of this piece is there's no word count that has to be respected. There's nothing that you should be thinking about. And the prompt is thinking about a place and describing that place and what you feel when you are there. So let's get down with that timer. Let's get down with writing those first 2 minutes, and then we will see each other back here once that is done. Okay, so you've done your 2 minutes of writing. Something has come down. That's good. You thought about a place. That's even better. Now, we're gonna change this a bit, and we are gonna set a timer for 10 minutes. 10 minutes of timer. What are we gonna write? This one will be called systematic writing. This time, we won't go off the top of our head, but we will focus on a place. And go around the place and think about everything that we can think about, describing it in minute details. We'll only have 10 minutes, so you won't expect to describe the whole place completely if, for example, the place is as messy as this desk, but you can do something good. So now, let's get down with the description of the place. It must be as objective as possible. So without any further ado, take your phones, take your timers, set it down for 10 minutes. Let's go, and we will meet back here once you're done. Okay, these 10 minutes have passed. You will have 2 pieces of work in your arsenal. You will have the shorter piece that you wrote at the beginning, writing about how you feel when you find yourself into a place, and the second one describing the place. I hope that you chose the same place, but it's not mandatory at all. If you chose the same place, you will have a bit of a stronger thing. But if, for example, like me, you are working on a piece and chose a different setting to write about, no problem at all. Now, we will be writing a 15-minute piece where we will be diving in, merging the description of the place with how it makes us feel. What will that tackle? We will have to look at all of the sensations and the 5 senses, how we can engage them with the landscape that we have around. So let's say that we say this messy desk. What does the messy desk look like? What does it feel like when I touch it? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? What can I hear when I'm around? So we have all of these different 5 senses that we can apply, and this will be the third and final exercise of this little fun writing exercise to take you out of the non-existent writing block that you think you have. So without any further ado, let's get down to write those 15 minutes, set your timers, and we will meet back here to gather up. Let's go. Okay, we have done it. I'm so happy that you bore with me for all of this video. You set your all timer, you came along with me in this, but this is so important that you did. Writer's block is something that truly it does not exist if you just find the time to set yourself down, to have a little prompt, a little something that will make you go past that white page. After that, it will be easy because you will already have something to work on, some idea, something that you have behind. So I really hope that this exercise has helped you, and I suggest that you do come back to me every single time you have the feeling that you cannot progress in your writing. So if you have this feeling, come back to me, repeat these 3 exercises, concentrating on a new idea that you might have, and this might help you so much to give places a meaning within your writing and to also go past your writer's block. So thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you very much for spending time with me. I really hope we will meet again. If you're not subscribed, please do give a like to this video, and we will see each other next time. Bye guys!